Alright, I just had a dog barking at me from the second story open window. It took me a few seconds to realize where it was. I was looking on the ground first, and and then I followed the voice better to the second story window. And it got me thinking, where doesn't a dog bark at me from? Because I've seen them on roofs of homes and garages, on second story porches, in the yards, of course, either tied up or having a fence around them, chain link or wooden fence. They'll even bark at you from wooden fences when I don't think they could see me. I think they bark based on what they hear, because I look for them sometimes and don't see them. I actually had one dog, the owner made like a hole in the wooden fence so the dog could stick his head through, but then he put this like the solar half sphere in there so the dog can look out, but there's no way it could see through, but it's no way it could get through. I've had dogs dig like slight holes underneath the fence and then stick their heads underneath that wooden fence and bark at me from their makeshift holes. The fences, yeah, they're either adjacent to the parking lot or off in a distance. The ones where the dogs can get right up to me and bark is pretty interesting. They'll just start. Well, it depends on what type of dog they are. They'll run back and forth, up and down. They'll like anticipate where I'm going, and sometimes I'll stop and just see if they even bother looking for me. Sometimes the dog will bark at me and just then look away, and then like, I don't know, just bark while it's looking away. And sometimes I'll stop to see if the dog increases its barking rate. I'll get dogs that are riding in vehicles, and some are nice and bark from a distance. I'll bark the whole trip, either sitting in the car in the back seat or front seat. Sometimes I've seen the dogs on the driver's lap. Although I can't say that's probably one spot the dog doesn't bark at me from, is the driver's lap. I don't recall ever seeing that, but I'm usually on the side of the road where it's on the passenger side mostly. But the dogs will bark at me from the cars in a sneak bark attack. All right, not all dogs will bark the whole trip. Some will just wait till they see something, like me, bicycling or walking, it doesn't matter, and just start barking. Some dogs are nice and just completely ignore me and just enjoy the ride. But some dogs, I think particularly those dogs in the backs of trucks, will be the big barkers, but not the farm trucks, not those cow dogs. They stay pretty silent. They're a little more disciplined. That's the worst, when I'm bicycling down the side of the road and I have this dog just as I'm going by, and those are the ones that I never can record because I just never expect it. I'll have dogs in parking lots, sitting in the car, just barking away, like they never, like this. When was the last time they've been in this parking lot, like a Walmart parking lot or something, and all of a sudden they're just becoming territorial in this spot for the temporary time that they're there. But they'll go nuts, and one dog, if there's more than one dog, the one dog will start barking, and then the other dog will be like, oh, I better join in. And so, whatever all chorus they can bring up against me, they do that. Sometimes I have to wake the dog up. I slap my leg a lot. That really gets the dog's attention. What seems to get dogs' attention as I'm going by, is slapping the leg. Okay, that snap really gets their attention. And then when you do get their attention, what really seems to set dogs off too is just pausing for like 2 seconds, not moving, staring at the dog like I'm shocked, like I'm scared of them or something. And that makes them bark even louder. Not all of them, but I'd say a good 85-90% of them. All right, some dogs just don't bother. They're maybe, old dogs, young dogs. The age doesn't matter. It's maybe the training. It really comes down, I think, to the owner. But dogs will bark at me from long distances, Like, I could be on the top of a hill, like, seems like a mile away, and I'll have this dog barking away at me. And if they're, they're kind of visible, I could see them actually facing me, barking at me. You could assume that maybe they're barking at something else, and they'll do that too. They'll bark out of frustration at their owner, I think. Sometimes those dogs won't even pay attention to me. If they're barking at their owner, they don't even care what I'm doing as I'm walking by. So I get barked at so many times, and the best ones I can record are the ones that I can anticipate. Those surprise barkings, especially the drive-by barkings, are the ones that I could never capture unless I keep the camera running all the time, but I only have so much memory and batteries. So it's just interesting to see. They'll bark through the windows. They'll bark at the window while it's echoing back at them. They'll bark through the curtains. You learn what the thickness of the window is by how faint their bark is. All right, it's interesting. And sometimes I'll tease those dogs. I'll just stop for 2 seconds, staring at them, and then continue walking. And sometimes they'll increase their barking inside. I don't want to alert the owners. Usually the owners will not yell at me for making me have their dogs bark at me. They'll yell at their dogs. The owners are always first to yell at their dogs. They yell at their dogs first. I'll have dogs, on leashes. The dogs will be, the owner will be walking their dog, and the dogs will just start barking at me. It's really scary when they're not on a leash. Okay, and that's when the owner has to say, he's friendly, he's friendly, he's friendly, or whatever. They have to try to assure you, and that's a little annoying. I'm not the most thrilled about dogs, but they're entertaining. There's plus sides and negative sides to dealing with the dog barking issues. Some dogs have a faint, pleasant bark. It's not too offensive, and other dogs are just sound like an air raid siren. It's 9:55, 5 minutes to, and this is a crowd.
Steven, get on the edge, Hey guys.
Okay, it's all kids. Today, now I can use this outlet back here. I should put a desk up, and that's because there's a middle school presentation, I guess. But they can't let people use it back here when there's not presentations, and that's really weird. I make note that I really like this side of the Safeway for parking, possibly even overnight. Got the great afternoon shade. So my car's straight up in the sun, and it's pretty unbearable. In fact, now that I've discovered it, I don't think I'm going to buy the milk or the frozen. I think I'll just move my car over and then get the stuff as I'm parked in the shade. I'll enjoy it as opposed to in this hot sun. In that it's a nice parking lot all day, but if I can grab shade and not have to compete for that shade, at least right now, it's pretty amazing. Alright, so next to the House Museum, I find this curious. These two signs say RV parking only. So that means that no other cars. At the very least, they're saying that RVs are allowed right there. RVs are not, and that's the thing, that's strange. See, what, you're better off just working with don't park here signs as opposed to you can park here. There might be more confusion about saying the park here signs. Alright, so I'm on my way to go get some service berries on the college campus. Students are nice enough to leave them alone. Whoever did the landscaping planted some a serviceberry tree. There might be more. Yeah, they planted it along this building, so the serviceberry is shade tolerant pretty much, and it gets plenty of watering. I'm sure there's all kinds of stains on the ground. This thing is loaded. It's just the two trees. They planted them on either side of this door. It's pretty good. I gotta admit, I've never seen train tracks next to a training field before. And it looks like these tracks are in use. So you could be out here doing some kind of a practice on this football field and have a train roll right by. So like Hazel Slater, who loved this town, actually not this town, and I'm trying to remember which town she actually loved. I don't love towns. I don't love any single towns. I love a collection of certain towns. Yeah, you don't find too many of these type of fences that are actually pointy on the ends. A lot of the newer age ones will have little balls on top of those points. Oh, it looks like Gala Realty Group is selling it. Alright, I'm gonna get close to the laundromat and eventually today do some laundry. That's the goal. I got 2 goals. Try to fix my stomach and do some laundry. 2 simple goals. Okay. Oh! 3 miles away. Library's closed all day. So I guess there's a stoplight there. I want to take a left here. The depot. I want to take a left at the depot. That guy can't fit in on the right. Whoa! Alright. I want to take a left to go east. A left to go east. Okay, I see it. Alright. Because that's what Google Maps suggests. Get on the freeway of all the roads. I'm usually not too enthused about the freeway, but it is a Sunday morning and Walla Walla, I don't expect it to be a lot of traffic. I don't see any traffic. I gotta take a right on Wilbur. Yeah, I gotta fix my stomach and do the laundry. Can I do... If only fixing my stomach was as easy as doing the laundry. Waitsburg 21, Lewiston 100. Yeah, those are really far. Oh geez, I'm going too slow. Where's Wilbur? Wow. Think about food so much. My stomach is like coated in something nasty. Wilbur. This is Wilbur, okay. Freeway, that's a pretty nice freeway. Alright, I don't really want to park on in the parking lot. I guess I could. In the Staples parking lot. I'm just afraid that they'll come after me. Oh yeah, it's that farm place. Cascade. Oh man, it's really a tough call. I don't think I want to park there. I had in mind to park in a back street. I think I'll just stick with the back street. Yeah, the dead end. Huh. Yeah, oh Jesus. It's a dead end over there. Maybe... What is that, a restaurant? Can I park on the side streets? It looks like a person could just park on the side street right here. It's probably like a sidewalk. Jesus. I don't know if that's really where I want to be parked. Thought that was funny.